out of your shell, because once you do, it's a really great and amazing feeling, and you'll start attracting other individuals like-minded as you. Not fitting in, being an outcast, being weird, being different, having certain gifts that you can't really explain to others. And now I see it as a part of who I am meant to be, and I want you all to see that as well. I know it's difficult in a world and society reality where we are placed in boxes, and it can be a lonely feeling being placed in a box as an outcast or a weirdo, but I find it as a huge blessing, so I want you all to as well. You're fucking awesome. I'm gonna share part of my mind and how I just don't care anymore and think differently about being unique and not like others in this world, and seeing reality differently, and it's okay. Let's have an open discussion. Let me know what you think of this video. I'm still trying to create better content for you all. I'm still a new creator, so please be patient with me, and I'm so blessed to have you all here. I felt energies very intensely. I saw through people's masks, and I felt isolated at times, and it was really tough. But over the years, I've learned to cope with it, and it's really helped me become more authentic in who I am and love myself even more. I know people may say, you're conceited or full of yourself if you love yourself, but that's what they do to try and mindfuck us. So I just want to put my mind out there and let you know, yes, it's okay to be different. I know I am someone who's very different and not a lot of people understand. People may even try to study you, but it's okay. I used to think that it was a curse to be different, and now I see it very differently. I want you all to as well. I believe that we are created different for a reason, to maybe help raise this vibration and consciousness of this earth. One day I woke up and realized, it's okay to not be liked, to not fit in, to be different, to be weird. And I've had many experiences where I've been outcasted. People don't like me, I'll call you crazy, different names. And I've just had divine nudges just leading me to a path of authenticity. I know it can be very difficult, just, trying to think differently than others. I like to reference back to the books and the movie Divergent, how some individuals were hiding because they had a different mind than the society and city they were living in, and everyone else was placed in a unique box. And I kind of think of the world like that now. I know more people are coming out, with being different, having gifts in life, being weird, thinking differently, and it can be a scary feeling coming out and being yourself. And I just want you all to know that you are very brave and courageous if you have the capability and will to just live more authentic. I know it's like the movie Divergent. It's scary, right? You feel like you have to hide your whole life, but I just woke up one day and I was like, you know what? I'm here for a reason, to maybe help raise the consciousness level of Earth. People around me, have people see things differently, feel things differently. I know some of us are an anomaly, like case studies in this world, and it is a blessing, it is a curse, but it is very fun, just to live so freely where you don't care anymore what people have to say, think about you. I've been meeting a lot of unique minds lately. I had someone who likes to talk about dimensions enter my life and consciousness levels. We got a little bit into it, but it's just funny how, individuals like you'll start attracting them, and it's a really good feeling to know there's other people out there like you once you start living and being who you are. It was funny, he told me he thinks I'm an indigo. If you guys know anything about that, I highly suggest looking into it. Maybe I'll look it up and read it off to you guys later on in this video. And it was just funny, I asked him, like, what consciousness level do you think I am? And it was just funny. He's like, oh, I think you have a very high one. You are very intelligent And it was just funny because I don't know this individual very well. And it just makes you think like, thank God there's people out there that, can see us sometimes, that have like foresight like we do and think deeply. And I just want to reassure you guys, there are people like you. You're not an outcast. You're probably meant to be here and are very real. Maybe you're meant to be different and to be weird, to show other people that, or what it looks like to be different with a purpose. I know I have been myself so much lately, and I uplift others. I have a really loving and healing energy to me that is very unique. I know it is difficult sometimes to show who we are, show our minds. I know I'm still getting used to being on YouTube and trying to open up more about my mind, my spirituality, who I am, the things I have experienced, what I go through in life. And it's difficult because, we want to protect ourselves but also live, more freely. But I've come to realize that, I came here with a purpose to show others that having a unique mind and being different is a good thing. And I hope you all can start seeing yourself like that as well. You can help others so much by just being yourself. And I've come to realize, a lot of people like when you're different. I love meeting people who have different perspectives of life, of reality, of themselves. I think it is fascinating. And, there's people who aren't going to understand you and think you're really freaking weird. And I know it's okay. I know I've had experiences before where I just look back on my childhood and I'm like, that was very different about me. I've been someone who doesn't conform to society's, the status quo of a human being and reality and all of that. I remember one time I told, see, this is like so freaky for me too as well, because I get scared about opening up about certain things that I know or that I have been through. I know I have individuals watching my channel and I have to be careful what I say. And that's something I'm still trying to navigate, how to be different, how to be open about being different and being careful and protecting yourself while doing so. And I'm still navigating it. So if you are, don't worry, you are not alone. I'm still trying to figure it out, especially on YouTube. It's very difficult when you don't know who's watching. I mean, I have a lot of individuals who are watching and I know who they are, and it's a wide range of people, and it gets very difficult to navigate. So I understand the aspect of trying to be open about your mind and who you are and still trying to protect yourself, your privacy, and your beliefs. So you're not alone. I've met people who've said like they think they're, a witch. They think they're an alien. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Or people who, have said they've seen UFOs before, who have different perspectives of reality and dimensions and just the human anatomy. So I love having unique conversations. So don't hide yourself. There's people who are going to think you're very weird. And trust me, I've had that experience where I open up my mind and I notice other people listening to the conversations I'm having. And they probably think I'm very freaking weird, but that is okay. I know I've tried to open up a little bit on my channel about who I am and what I'm interested in, the experiences I go through or have been through. I know I spoke about my spiritual awakening. I haven't told many individuals about what happened to me that day and night. I just had, kind of like foresight, magical foresight into an event that was about to take place, and I took precautions to avoid that event. And when I took the precautions to avoid that event, to escape that event, I saw reality very differently. And it was very freaky and weird because once you see what's going on and you see what's going on, it is kind of fucking freaky, and you kind of think you're going a little bit cuckoo, but you're actually not. That's what I have learned. I know I told someone that day and night I figured out I know the cure to something. I'm not going to say on what, but look at me now. For the individuals that think, you're cuckoo, I am still working on being open. I know you may all feel that way as well. It's very intimidating to get over a fear of showing your mind and who you are. But another reminder, there are people who are craving souls and minds like you. So please be open and be yourself. You may run across my path and figure out like, wow, there are people who love speaking about things, who have been through these experiences, who don't think I'm crazy, who actually like who I am. And I want you all to like who you are, because being weird and outcast and anomaly is actually pretty freaking cool. I have been conquering many fears. I, keep having new ones appear. And one thing in life that I know we all should be doing is conquering our fears. We don't want to be on our deathbed and have ghosts around us from the past of things we wish we would have done. So that's something I've been doing lately, conquering fears of, public speaking, showing my mind to others, to, standing up for what's right and what's wrong. And you are going to be isolated, and it can be very scary to be isolated from most of society, but that's something I have learned to, conquer the fear of being different and just being myself. It's such a freeing feeling. I love the energy that I am in lately of just, showing my mind a little bit to certain individuals, and my heart, my soul, my energy, just the gifts that I have. I know it's very scary. Trust me, especially with me being on YouTube. This was a big leap of faith that I took, and there are people that probably do think I'm freaking crazy, and that's okay. But yeah, it's very difficult to navigate. Trust me, I'm still learning, so it's a, ever evolving thing that we'll have to get through, just putting ourselves out there, loving ourselves, being okay with being different. And I just want to remind you again, you are made with a divine purpose, and maybe being different is yours, to show others that there is a path and purpose, and being very unique, very alone and isolated in this world. And it is a very lonely feeling. So I understand what you are going through. You don't connect with many people. You feel out of place in your family. This reality on this earth. I know I've always known that I feel like I'm not from here. I know that might sound out there, but I've always had this deep knowing that I am different, that this planet has never felt truly like my home, like where I'm from, where I'm meant to be. But I know we are all here for a purpose, and I've realized mine over the years through the family that I was born in, the situations I have been through, what I've awakened to about my mind, my soul, it's just things like that. So everything's gonna be okay. Just want to remind you, I know I'm saying a lot of reminders, but just a pep talk to let you guys know that it's okay to have feelings like that and thoughts. I know when I'm at work, sometimes we have to be rooted, right, in what we're doing in this reality, and then your mind just drifts off and you look up at the sky and then think about us floating in the universe and just all that. And you're trying to like ground yourself, and it can be difficult to navigate. So I understand, and I think you're doing an amazing job. If you are still here, still showing who you are to others and opening up your mind, I am still trying to open up my mind more on this channel. I kind of go all over the place sometimes. I want to share more with you guys, which I will eventually. It's just hard to curate content and stories sometimes when you're still trying to, navigate and protect yourself during weird situations you're going through. So if people don't like you, you're having a hard time opening up to others, we have to do a lot of internal dialogue and talk, and just remind ourselves that we're all going to be different. We're all very unique. Our DNA, our minds, just, things like that, our ancestry, our blood type. And just do reverse psychology on yourself. Like, you believe that you are so freaking awesome. Your mind is awesome. What you like is awesome. Your hobbies, your interests, what you like to speak about, because that's how we can navigate and get through some of these fears of showing ourselves and being scared of showing ourselves, is just doing a lot of internal talks with ourselves and just realizing that it's okay to be different. So I just want to let you know that no, you're not crazy. You're not weird. I think you're pretty freaking cool. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please subscribe or like this video. I love individuals with unique minds, unique abilities. I love having different chats. So if you are connecting with my content, please come join me. Like I said, I'm still new to creating, so please be patient with me. And yes, I am very weird. And it is scary putting myself out there. So everyone who has been here, I just want to send out a huge hug and thank you for making me feel seen and appreciated for putting myself out there. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I hope you start realizing that being different has a purpose, and it is a very beautiful one.